So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Jumbo!
They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he'll get this to the 32.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. On the move to his left. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Here's a diving catch right side. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues. From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6. Now Rodgers. Flushed out right. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
88.
Now Rodgers. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
Over.
48-yard line.
Take 30. Hey, take 26.
To throw is Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
On 4th down, here's the veteran Thomas Morstead to punt for the Jets. Deep to return is Calvin Austin. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go, son.
Fields tapping it forward. Jet sweep. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away. Fields now to throw. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Fryermuth. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one good for 26 and a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination. Guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, the risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Eluding the pressure, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Will McDonald gets in there to take him down. Here is third and quite a ways. To throw is Fields. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. We're scoreless after one. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Here we go. Right.
Now it's Fields. Steps away to his left. And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. They'll go again with Patterson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. They'll run with Patterson. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Straight ahead, Patterson. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Cordero Patterson, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Throwing now is Rodgers. This pass out wide to Hall. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Second and a couple. Here's Rodgers. Flush to his right. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Somehow I feel he's going to hear the same thing when he gets to the sidelines after this series. So close to the first down marker. Just tuck it and run for the first down. No sense trying to throw it downfield. And that one falls incomplete.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Inside.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out. But
Hall has it knocked loose. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
1st and 10, it's Patterson. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Here we go. Good. Hey, Ken. Up. Hey, Ken. Sit high.
Back to throw. Fields. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Back north. Johnny! Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. Flushed out right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Get 300. Get 300.
Rodgers going to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Here we go.
Beginning on the ground with Patterson. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle. Now 2nd and 9.
Angel. Here we go, shot. Out, let's go. Hey, Ken. Go.
Here's Fields. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
You got a mini base. Why not? Go. Right.
From the gun, here's Fields. He's going to launch it for Washington. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Returnable here from the 38. And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Rodgers. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now Fields. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Down to the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Cordero Patterson. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point now by Boswell. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Steelers 14, Jets nothing. Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I know we spent a lot of time talking about how the backs read routes and make plays on the football. How about a good linebacker? Feeling the route, seeing the quarterback, jumps the play, and knocks it away. Really well done.
Taylor incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Ready. Cup 19. Cup 19. Warrior 70.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Nowhere to get away, and down he goes. Taylor is sacked. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now 3rd down and very long.
Set it. Ready.
Taylor. This one deep for Wilson. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. How about this? An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Patterson, don't jump. Ready?
Patterson, he'll try it up the middle. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A very one-sided first half. 17-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback. And the third quarter will start from the 30. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Here we go, son. EQ. Right.
Out of the gun, Fields. This one finds Wilson downfield. And he makes it all the way down to the 19. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 46 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Fields. Eluding the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Here's Fields. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Washington. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Here we go, son. Go.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Darnell Washington. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Boswell for the extra point. And the lead is now 24.
Makes the score Steelers 24, Jets nothing. Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Taylor. Buying time to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on 1st down. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Taylor will throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing to trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's go now. Mustang 19. Check go.
Now Taylor. That to the sideline, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Well, it certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
Here we go. West side fit. Hey, can. Right.
Back to throw. Fields. He's got this to Pickens. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Looking to throw. Fields finding Pickens for another catch. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, 1st down.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Here we go.
That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers have opened the lead up to 30. Well, familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
2 yards still to go. Third down now.
A gain of 9 brings up
18 Rattler.
Now Taylor to throw. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Now it's Taylor. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Taylor incomplete on first down. Here's second and 10.
Come on, set. 19 tight. 19 tight. Ready.
Back to throw again. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Ready, ready. Ready.
Taylor. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he'll get credit for a punt inside the 20, not by much, but inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They can definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to give them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd and 5.
Go, John. Ready? Press. Punch right. Extend. Hey, 551. 551. Right.
A shotgun snap, Fields. He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 35. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
Hey, never mind. Monday. Hey, can't. Is it all right?
To throw is Fields. Oh, he's going up top for Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Angel. Go.
Now it's Fields. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
You got a mini base, right?
Fields now to throw. Looking for Austin, intercepted. And the Jets are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. But not only is his defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one, and even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that zero on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
From the gun on third down, it's Taylor. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Okay, ready?
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Let's go.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. No move to pull the offense. Taylor's going to go for it.
Tag. Hut, hut.
Here we go. It's Taylor on fourth down. Working in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
16 yards.
Again, it's Taylor. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Only 3 there on the screen. It's second down.
Cougar 19.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 47-yard line.
Hall ought to give up the middle. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now it's Taylor. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 31-yard line. Straight ahead is Hall. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd down and 9.
Let's go now.
They'll go again with Hall. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Zerline to kick off for the Jets.
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Here we go, Side. Side.
Back to throw, Fields. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Here's Fields. That is caught. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That goes for a gain of 31.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
Here we go. Right.
And they'll indeed take a knee. And they will take a knee here. Well, this was a really nice display, Charles, of compliment.